Man, I got some interesting shit tonight. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, it says we're live. I don't know if we are.
Yeah.
But it says we're live. I don't have a link yet.
And we're live! Maybe.
We are live. We are live. Brothers and Brews featuring Art Eddy. Art, what's going on? Tell me what's up. How you doing?
I am doing so well. Cheers, gentlemen. Thank you so much for letting me be on your show. Love the concept, love the idea, and I appreciate the time as always, man.
Well, you're obviously ready to jump right in. What are you starting us off with there, man?
I'm drinking my favorite beer of all time, and I saved it for you guys. Not really. It came out really early this year. Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I can never go wrong with this beer, man, except if I drank a Leinenkugel pumpkin spice, and then I went to this. It just totally threw off my taste buds, man. So, yeah.
Whoa, wait. You said it came out early this year or late?
Yeah, early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like now.
So, I'm not buying that late. I mean, come on.
No, but the funny thing is you guys, you all know Patrick Quinn, right? My partner in crime on the Geek Show that we do over at Life of Dad. We always had this race for the past few years to see who got the Oktoberfest first, and it started I don't know, the end of August, and then every year it started to creep up, and then my buddy, my boy Stump, he's like, dude, look what's in my neck of the woods. I was like, wait, it's out already? This was 6 days ago. And so I went on a hunt for it this weekend, and I found it. I'm like, this is insane, but it's also perfection because I love this beer.
And it's great for the show, by the way.
We saw
Perfect for the show.
We saw some people posting in the beer group that they were getting pumpkin ales, saw pumpkin, Southern Tier Pumpkin, and a couple others. I'm like, it's too hot for pumpkin beers.
Yep. That's why I drink this in the freezer most of the time. Yeah. I have a walk-in freezer. I just know.
I was going to be very impressed.
So, you got a glass for that or no?
No.
Okay. So, what are you smelling? We got to go through the whole thing, man. So, tell us what you're smelling. And
you want me to get a glass? I can get a glass. You want me to get a glass?
Yeah, you want.
Yeah, if you want to.
Hold on. The only thing I'm not prepared with.
Oh, we got glasses, man. We're glass heavy here.
Great.
So
why don't you load it up? What you got?
I got a Thule here from Iceland.
Thule? Thule?
Thule. I have no idea. Looking very lagerish in my not so clean glass, but we'll get over that.
Is it supposed to be a lager? Or is it supposed to be pills?
Yeah, it doesn't say anything on it. It's very, very mysterious here. It just says Thule, man. Oh, okay.
That's a nice dark amber color.
Yeah.
Back to Art there. That looks. Yeah. You almost can see through that.
You kind of can't. Yeah, I mean, but it's definitely I'm just for people who don't know, I'm a big lager and pilsner, and I'm more of a light guy, like a amber type of thing. I'll definitely drink the stouts, the porters here and there, but lagers, ambers are my favorite. Ales, just love them. And then for some reason, this one right here, it's just so good. I just love it. And the smell, kind of a little toffee-ish. Whereas ambers are my favorite. Ales, just love them. And then for some reason,
Sorry. Quality production.
Right. So,
So what kind of spices are you getting out of that, though? Is there any spices? Since Oktoberfest tend to have a little bit more, they're not just straight up ales or lagers, they have a little bit of spice to them. What are you getting out of that?
Yeah, I mean, besides the malt flavor, of course, there's definitely I don't know, they say margin is in it, but I'm for me, it's I wouldn't say heavy on the oak, but there's a little bit of oakiness to it. Mm-hmm. It's just it definitely tastes like fall. If that makes any sense, right?
Nah, that's it. But that's the thing is we like to hear everybody has to live somebody might drink that and have a different experience with it. So I just like hearing what everybody has to say about the stuff they're drinking.
One thing I want to ask you, Art, before we jump over to me, do you I know you have everybody has a picture in their head of what a beer tastes like. Does it taste like any different than you usually have it before? Does it taste like the old Sam Oktoberfest?
And that's like I said, that's a good call. The only time it tasted ever different for me is when I think it was last year or the year before, where Someone brought over a Leinenkugel pumpkin spice, or I don't think it was their Oktoberfest. I think it was like a pumpkin something or other, and it was very sugary. And then I tasted this one, and I was like, "Whoa, did I like buy a bad batch or something?" So I opened up another one. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting the same flavor." Then I was like, "Wait a minute, I should hold up." And then the next day, the first beer I had was an Oktoberfest, and it was totally fine. I think for the most part, Sam Adams is on point with how they kind of keep the flavor year round. So, or not year round, seasonal round, I guess, right?
Consistent between years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For a lot of brewers, I don't think they're trying to tweak with, unless it's, they're not really trying to tweak with it. They got a big fan base. So, this Thule here is it's a lager. It's typical lager. Going down really good and fresh. I'm not, Art said he's a lager guy. I started as a lager guy, completely went away, completely hated them for a while, and now I'm coming back to them. And this is a nice, light, refreshing one. My boy Doug would call it a shower beer. Lawnmower beer for sure. Cheers. What you got, Doug?
So I bought this purely for the label. I will confess straight up.
What else is new?
Yeah. Well, no, not all of them I do that. Some of them I don't. But this one called Mr. Zero Northeast IPA. Look at that. It's like freaking Tapper. That's what it reminds me of.
Yes.
He looks angry. He's Mr. Zero.
Yeah, Mr. Zero.
Okay.
He looks like he's ready to fight everybody at the bar, but still.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like you mentioned Tapper. You mentioned Tapper, right?
Yeah.
And have you guys all seen Wreck-It Ralph? Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah.
Well, do you the sound? I think it was Imagine Dragons. They have the song. It's like, do you want to be like? I feel more like a zero than a hero. So yes. I don't know if it's any like.
Gotcha. Oh, that's looking like. What is that supposed to be? What is it acting like?
Northeast IPA.
Oh.
Going off reservation for me.
Okay.
So this one is 6.2%. Is from Willow Rock Brewing. I'm not exactly sure where that is. Sorry, my glasses aren't helping me out here. Syracuse, New York. Actually, this is a fairly local beer for me. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I wasn't even aware of that, and I'm glad I picked it up. But
nice.
Not as hazy as I expected. I mean, it's definitely got the citrusy notes on the nose.
Big hops.
Yeah. Not like overwhelming though. Sometimes like, how I am about IPAs. It's super hoppy. That's a little bit of a downer for me, but this is like a super nice balance. It's not super juicy, but you definitely get the citrus notes in the nose and a little bit in the taste, and the hops very hop forward, but really like on a hot day, like I was talking to Art earlier, it's been super hot here. So I'm like, this is actually really refreshing.
Nice.
Doug and Greg, like, what are your, I mentioned like Pilsner, lager, ales for me. Like, what are your go-to beers?
Oh, well, obviously being Daddy Porters, obviously. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be easier for Doug because it's hard for me to narrow it down. And even seasonally, I move around. Porters, stouts, sours. Man, almost anything. Art. I'm, on the road to being a beer judge and a cicerone, which is a beer expert. So I've come to change my mind about beers as far as the way I look at them, as far as whether it's bad or good. It's more like, is this like my feel? And I'm really trying to find out like what's behind the beer and all that. So like, good example of this is Hefeweizens. I've come to love those. I absolutely used to just hate them. But when I looked at them differently, like, you know what I mean? Like, no, this is a classic beer, blah, blah, blah. Then I started to like them more. So, I don't know. It's weird. I like all beers, and it's almost easy to say that. There's some that I really don't like, though, but not really don't like, but there's styles that don't jive with me as much as others. But mostly, I like them all. Now, Doug, I think, is a little bit more streamlined. I could be wrong, though.
Well, I tend to go heavier. I really like heavy beers, stouts, porters. I really, really enjoy Scotch ales. I think Scotch ales are a really underrated style. I have one tonight, so that's going to be fun.
He always seems to find one. You always find one, man.
Actually bought 2 today. This one I had to try because it's aged in Scotch barrels. So it's like, had to give that a go. But I do this show. Greg actually helped me like try a bunch of other different stuff that I normally wouldn't, like Kolsch's, or I really like Gosses, because that's a nice refreshing one. I will try anything, but my home is definitely darker stuff, but when it's hot out, that's not really the best weather to be drinking really heavy stuff, especially barrel aged things. But yeah.
So Art, you need to open up your next one, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Go.
Also, Art,
you don't have to
while Art does that, while Art does that, I will, not everybody knows who my buddy Art Eddy is. So I will introduce him a little bit. Art is what do I want to use? He's a mega podcaster. As I look at him, he's a big podcaster. He talks to a lot of guys that with the Life of Dad Network, he talks to a lot of dads. And that spans, you've talked to everyone, I think, man. So my question for you is, tell me the recent one that you could tell me a few dads that you've recently talked to that you could tell us, because I know sometimes you talk to dads and then you don't release it till later. So who was the latest ones that you released that will blow your mind a little bit?
Actually, next this Monday coming up, Marty Smith from ESPN.
Cool.
Yeah. We talk about a bunch of things. We talk about his parents died at an early age, so there's a lot of things that he takes fatherhood seriously. So we talked about that. Tim, if anybody loves baseball, another ESPN guy, Tim Kirchin, talked to him. Recently I had Howie D from the Backstreet Boys, and I got a couple kind of still in the mix.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Backstreet Boys. That was a recent one. Right. I was like, cool, man. That's cool.
What was I going to say? Okay, so the next one, I moved around a lot, right? And I'd say I grew up from my formidable years from, I'd say seventh grade to college was in New Hampshire. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm a Sam Adams guy. So the other one was an Oktoberfest autumn. This one I'm drinking right now is Sam Adams 76. This is ale meets lager. It is, we talk about a lawnmower beer, right? Or a mowing beer. This is, it can be that too, but this is a beer that is also a catch-all where you can be drinking anything, whether you're drinking a port or sour, whatever the case may be. You go back on this, your taste buds, your palate is going to be fine. You'll still taste it the way it's meant to be tasted. I don't know how they do it, but it's fantastic. And I tested it out a few times. We had a couple neighborhood block parties, and I kind of saved this one because I'm all right, I want to test out some of the new beers that we've had. And I got a couple other cool beer stories too as we go further, but 76 is great. And I consider this as if you're at a ballpark and if they have this, go watch a game and have this, man. This is just, as you can kind of see, it's very, very light. I don't know if you can. My hand
Lagers are coming back, man. Lagers are coming back.
I'm bringing lagers back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But more importantly, though, I don't know if they're coming back. Obviously, they've been here with Budweiser and all the other big beers. When I say they're coming back, I mean with us craft beer people. They're starting to make really good ones, and I'm glad to see Sam make one and mass produce. So yeah, what do you got? Do getting anything from the nose there besides the normal lager smell, which is corn, and what do we got here?
This one you got a little bit of I would say a buttery hue to it, kind of. That makes kind of any sense? I wouldn't say go Chardonnay butter, but a little bit that, right?
Or movie popcorn butter is bad.
Yeah, it's not that, but it's a little hint of that. Maybe margarine, right? Maybe not as strong as, as butter, but
crisp.
It is crisp, and it gets you when you're done drinking, it gets you here and you here in a good way, right? It just it is such a refreshing beer. I was more my introduction to alcohol was pretty much maybe rum and cokes, Gin and tonics. Really wasn't a beer guy because maybe the beers that I was drinking in college was like Keystone, Natty, all that stuff, right? It's like the beers that you can afford or people are all sharing, right?
Schlitz.
Horrible.
Yeah. So, Ice House, Red Dog, all those things, right?
Yeah, ours was Rolling Rock, which was not great.
But after a while, like again, once you get a little bit older, you have your own steady job, you got your own place. It's like, all right, let me test out some other beers, right? And Sam Adams Light like kind of brought me into like tasting different beers, and then so I kind of been hooked on Sam Adams. But this beer is such a refreshing drink. Like I if you guys can pick it up, definitely do it. And every time that, like, how there's some beers that you're so passionate about, and you're like, hey, you should try it, and everyone else tries, you're like, yeah, all right, Art, what are you doing, right? Like, sure, but this is something you guys are you drinking it now?
No, I got a boldly, but keep going though.
No, but this is like every time that I share this the beer with somebody, they're like, yeah, this is legit. Like, this is something you can get, man. So, and this used to be like just around the spring, but now it's year round, thankfully, from what I've been told.
Yeah, the one I like from Sam that I see a lot, or I call him Sam, Boston Brewing, is the Summer Ale. I really like that one.
My wife's a big fan of that, man. Yeah, that's a good beer. Like, I like all of the seasonals except you mentioned about the changing of, like, do you feel like breweries change things? I felt like the winter lager when I first had it, awesome. And then ever since the following few years has changed. I don't know if you guys are winter lager fans, if you tried it out, but I feel like something has changed, and I'm not feeling it.
I was going to say a seasonal that I like from Sam's that I get every year, and you can only get it in their variety packs, is Old Fezziwig. That is a really great Christmas beer. I don't know why. I love that when it comes out, and
yeah,
it's like you said, like you had this lager, and for you, that's just a perfect lager, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, Old Fezziwig's great, but like most people are like, yeah, it's all right, and then move on. But for me, I like that. And
yeah,
Greg and I have talked many times. You like what you like, and who cares? Who cares if it's something you dig? Great, enjoy it.
Yeah. Have you tried the White Christmas from them?
Yes.
Yes.
Talk about, like, there's nutmeg, there's like there's just like I wouldn't say thickness to it, but like there's something like undertones are on it, and it's just like you feel like you're sitting in front of a fire, man. I love that beer. Like, that beer has got like the shortest shelf life. It's like November 1st to maybe the first week of December, and then it's gone.
So I have an interesting one here.
Yeah, let's hear this one.
While we've been talking,
Are these all Icelandic?
These are all Icelandic.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he had all his Iceland beers last week were great. So
yeah, they were. Or maybe the one was missing its top prices, but it was still good. Yeah. This one is an interesting one. This is Boli. Am I saying it in an Icelandic way? Boli. Anyway, Boli. Strong pills, it says. So I don't know if you noticed, while I was talking, I cracked it open and I was drinking it, and I don't know, the nose, and I'm looking for a regular pills.
Yeah.
The nose on this one was strong and alcoholic. I'm like, what's going on here? So I look again, strong pills. Okay.
I
have no idea what that is. I never heard of it before.
Me either.
Right.
I was like, I want to hear what that one is.
Yeah, when you look here, it says 7% alcohol. So that's
for a pills.
Yeah, so that's the strong part.
Yeah.
So this pills, again, I'm getting like when you do a shot and you smell the alcohol, but it's really, really pungent and it hits you in the nose. Mm-hmm. This is really, really subtle, but there's a little bit of alcohol smell there. And
it's also way darker than a pills.
It's way darker. You saw that too. No head on it too. The head dispersed. The ending is a little bit crisp, but it's more like malt hits you here, and then you get a little bit of warming at the end. So like, yeah, it's a big pill. Shit.
I'd never heard of that. Have you ever seen a strong or a big pills, Art? Because that's not something I've seen before.
No.
Imperial pills.
What? That one?
Imperial pills. I've seen those.
Yeah, but
well, is that something outside of like the States, like Imperial pills, or no?
Well,
I've heard of Imperial pills. I've never had one.
Oh, I'm starting to see them pop up. I've had a few of them, and they're just bigger pills. You know what I mean? They just, the alcohol's bigger. I would have suspected they let it ferment more. They put more sugar in it to get more fermentation, blah, 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 all that great stuff that I don't know enough about. So I just blah, blah, blah over it. Meanwhile, a brewer's blowing his mind when I say that. But where's his mind? But no. So I would suspect, since it's Iceland, that they want some beef to their smaller beers sometimes, and sometimes they want a real warming beer. This would be it. It's just out of style for me, and it's just different, but I like it. I'm gonna finish this bad.
Nice. Do you guys, you're talking about the alcohol content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you see a lot of, craft breweries, especially here in North Carolina, they're just blowing up. Like Asheville was like one of like the big, destinations, but now just all the places like where I live in the Triangle, they're just coming up with breweries. And like one of them I have right now that's called the Mason Jar. I'll showcase that in a minute. But I feel like they're trying to like not like see who can go the highest alcohol but still taste good. Like when you guys see a high alcohol, like a high percentage, like what are your thoughts? You're like, all right, I'm just gonna like sample this, or like what's your take on that? Because sometimes I'm like, wait, what? Like that should have like 10% alcohol. Like what's going on?
Well, let me answer for Doug. Doug will say, "Can I have one, please?"
Yeah, exactly what I would say. Especially if it's barrel aged stuff, I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
But that's Doug's. Doug, explain that's your thing, or?
Yeah, well, it's because I will say I think a lot of it has to do with my affinity for Scotch. So like they have that real boozy flavor that I really, really like. But I don't want it to just be boozy. I want to have some character, some flavor. So like if I just want booze, I'll just go grab some whiskey and down that. But like
right.
And there's the thing, I've had some high alcohol beers. I was just like, this sucks. I don't want to drink the rest of this, but
yeah.
I'm a dad and I hate wasting shit, so I end up drinking it. So
yeah, it's for me, I don't know, as you guys see when I go around, I just try to drink this much of the beer and get out of there, and I'm just trying to taste it. But I don't know, there's a lot of things going on with that, Art, because I think when craft beer first really hit the scene, it was all about big ABVs. Now I think it's going the other way around. Okay. I think I'm feeling a lot of more brewers. I saw a brewer put out locally here, all of our beers are below 5%. I was like, all our beers are below 6%, I think it was. And it was just like, whoa. So like there's I think, again,
like a counterculture kind of thing.
Counterculture type thing. But I also think a lot of brewers are starting to really, really play hard into the seasonality of shit. So today, obviously it's gonna be lower ABVs. And then December, some places you'll just see like 5 stouts, and Doug will be like, yes.
That is once fall hits, baby, I'm super happy.
Right. So I don't know. And then, Art, with the Oktoberfest, you know how that goes seasonally. You know how people love that. And then I can attest, people love Oktoberfest until November 1. Then they're done with Oktoberfest. Really. And it's sad. It's sad, Art. It really is. And the reason I say that is because we're working at a brewery and you can see it. And a lot of brewers push it out earlier because of that marginal November 1 deadline. But it sucks. And I'll tell you why it sucks. And I'll shut up then and pass it. It sucks because, in my opinion, Oktoberfest beer is probably one of the best beers that you could have for Thanksgiving. Period. End. It goes with everything. Yep. Pumpkin, it goes with the dessert, it goes with cranberries, it goes with the damn turkey, it goes with mashed potatoes, it goes with everything. And everybody's all out of it by then. So you gotta, like, in my opinion, grab like an Oktoberfest when they're like going on like sale because they want to get rid of them in like November, and then save that shit for Thanksgiving and bring it out.
Washington taking us to church. I love it. Preach.
But I saw you reacting when I said like people don't want to drink Oktoberfest in November. What do you got for that?
To me, like I know I'm all excited about Oktoberfest, and I've tried. Like my favorite time of the year is fall. I got married in the fall. I love football. I love the cold. There's just so many things about the fall, and so I think that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm like head over heels for that. But I'm one of the guys that the different events, like kind of like what you guys do, like especially Greg. You go to different places, you talk to people, brewmasters, whatever the case may be, and you learn about just how people enjoy alcohol, right? And I think when I say enjoy alcohol, it's like you want to enjoy it the way you want to drink it, right? You want to enjoy something and you don't want to feel peer pressure where, oh, someone's drinking this. The end thing is like right now is like, IPA, so I got to drink an IPA. No, like drink what you like, right? And one of the guys from Crown Royal, he was one of their representatives. He was talking to me about, talking to a bunch of people, and he was like, I hate when people say like, oh, if you're drinking an XR, Crown Royal XR, it has to be on the rocks. And someone's like, well, I kind of drink it with Coke. And then one guy's like, how dare you, destroy the spirit gods by putting Coke in that XR that's been like, and the guy's like, the guy from Crown Royal was like, listen, I understand you have certain tastes, but if Joe Schmo wants to drink this after a long day of work and he likes the XR with Coke, is it affecting you, right? And so like, I'm not saying like everyone's drinking, once like November 1st, it's like I'm done with October, like I'm done with any type of Oktoberfest or like seasonal beers around that are associated with October or like early fall. Mm-hmm. To me, it's just like drink what you like. And I'll admit, like I mentioned the White Christmas, I go from store to store, pick up 12 packs and make sure like I open up the bottle, like the case, and make sure it's like, all right, good through July.
Oh man, we were
I'm
so
drinking
bad
that stuff through July, man. Like I kid you not. Like I love it, man. I just pissed off Doug. I think I need to be like voted off the island right now. Did I just piss him off?
I am saying I am really bad at looking at dates. Like up here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put the date on it, and I was like, I bought it. I was like, that label's cool, and I could have opened it. It could have tasted like shit because it could have been there for 2 years. But like you're going. I know I only have this much time. I don't even like. This is a Northeast IPA. I should have been paying attention to dates, and I don't. I'm just bad.
Like the only reason why I do that is because like if I like the Oktoberfest or I like White Christmas, I know that's a seasonal beer. It's not going to be year round, right? And I know that it's going to be like there's going to be a certain finite date, and so I just kind of take a look, like, all right, which ones can I get to like last me the longest, right?
Well, there you go.
Right. So, Doug, what do you have now? You got something.
Yeah, I almost finished this, believe it or not. That's how good that was. And you know me and IPAs. So what I picked up next, this one is a high ABV one, as we were just discussing. This is a collaboration between Sierra Nevada and Dogfish Head.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
This is an ale brewed with maple and birch syrup.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting because I like how they have the taps and the trees.
What is it, a stout?
It's an ale, not even a stout. So
that's kind of vague there.
Yeah, they just say ale brewed. So say, we are proud to share a third of Life and Limb.
Yeah, that's very Dogfish Heady.
Yeah, they do that whole thing where they're not really super specific sometimes.
I interviewed Sam once from Dogfish.
Sam was awesome.
It's like
I'm the guy who hasn't here. I'm very sad.
I think the guy. Greg? Have you interviewed Jim Koch?
I've never met Jim Koch yet. He's on my list. I've met Sam though. Sam's awesome.
God, this is pouring out.
Sam is like Sam is totally down to earth, man.
Sam is a regular. He's just like us. He really is.
Did you see how this poured out?
Yeah, very old.
Like it's almost like syrup.
Well,
made with syrup. So, oddly enough, as I stick my nose in the head, not a whole lot in the nose.
Oh man, that looks fantastic.
It looks good. It's very sweet.
Oh,
very sweet. Like beer sweet.
Sweet, like too sweet?
What's that?
Too sweet?
Borderline for me. And I like dessert beers. The thing is, it's definitely not a stout. So because it doesn't have that nice stouty flavor coming after the sweetness, which is
Right.
like most dessert beers are dessert stouts. Definitely not that. The ale taste comes like fast and it's gone almost as soon as you get it.
So we're talking like a dark, like a brown ale that they mapled out or something.
Yeah, almost more like an amber than a brown ale.
So the
you might actually, Art, you probably, if you like ambers, this probably be something you'd really dig. Although
yeah,
like
but
10.2 ABV though, so be careful.
Wait, but your description, it sounds gross, to be honest with you. And let me tell you why. Because, like, okay, so listen, follow me, guys. Maybe you'll follow me, maybe you won't. Here we go.
Well,
you guys know what a base amber. You guys had a base amber beer. Like, it just, amber beers they're not vast. Like, we know what an amber beer tastes like, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, cool.
Agreed.
So then,
I'm just saying that's what it tastes like to me, not a brown.
Right. So if you take a base amber beer and then you add maple to it, again, I'm sorry, that sounds gross.
I will say this: it's not the best beer I've ever had, but it's definitely not the worst.
It's also up Sam's alley. What I mean by Sam, I mean Sam from Dogfish. He likes to do crazy. I mean, come on now. Like, what's Dogfish's like most mainstream like beer? It's crazy. What is that? Sea Quench.
Yeah.
Like, and that's crazy. It's a good beer, but it's not. You know what I mean? When Sea Quench came out, that was like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn. So they're always on the edge of making crazy beers, and again, some of them aren't palatable to me or to everybody. That one sounds crazy. I love everything Sierra Nevada does generally too. So
what beers have surprised you guys? Like, what should I be on the lookout for? Like something where it's like, has there something where you kind of went into it like, all right, this is gonna suck, or this is like, yeah, I'm not gonna feel it, and then like all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, this is good.
I don't know, man. You got me excited about that same 76. I wasn't able to get out to get any of that. Right. I'm really wary about.
Oh, speaking of that, there's a seasonal pack from Sam Adams that's got the Oktoberfest, that's got the 76, and their latest sour. It's the Cosmic Sour, and like I haven't got it yet, but I want to check it out. It looks from what I've heard, one of my neighbors, he got it. He got the pack, and he says he and I were kind of like, I know you're into sours, Greg. I forgot. Oh my God, I'm blanking on what sour. I got to text him, but like the sour that he got me was fantastic. I forgot what it was. I think it was a local brew, but he was like, it's on par. Like the Cosmic Sour, he said, was on par with that. I'm gonna text him while you guys are talking, but
all right. Well, let me jump on this real quick. Let me introduce my traditional Pilsner from Tuborg Classic.
I like how it's like traditional Pilsner, but they don't tell you anything else.
Traditional Pilsner. Yeah, and then here we go, Doug. This is another dark one. Look at this one.
Ooh, man, that is way darker than I would have anticipated.
But this is we're only talking
Is it a strong Pilsner?
No, 4.8. So we're talking light. But and then here's the comparison to the two. This is a strong one.
Yeah, and that one's darker than the strong one. That's interesting. Wonder what's different about Iceland with their Pilsners.
I don't know. Remember the one I had last week? I said was piney.
Yeah,
it was really good. This one is malty. I don't think pills should be this malty. Well, the pills that we have that aren't this malty. This one's malty, and I think that's the color there.
That's probably where the color comes from, I'd imagine.
Not as crisp as I'm looking for in a Pilsner, but malty as hell. Not malty as hell, but not malty as hell. Sorry, scratch that. Malt balance. Malt heavy. This is interesting, man. It's interesting. These Iceland beers, I'm telling you, man, they're different. And when you go out of different regions, Doug and I talked about specifically the difference between Montana beers and Philly beers, and because I went and did both of them, and it was just crazy art compared to the difference, and the same country. But when you go to Iceland, I guess again, they do things differently, man. This is interesting. Another one I like, but I'm gonna finish.
How many states have you been to visiting different breweries, man, and I'm just curious. And which one? And you mentioned, Montana and Philly, and Pennsylvania, but like, what have you found has like? And this is like, I know we live in generalities or like, what's the best, but like, is there a state that has been like the best? Because obviously now, bigger corporations are buying smaller corporations for distribution wise, right? But like, what have you found that is fantastic? And then two, what should I be looking out for?
What I'm finding is regionally, different things are going on. And Doug and I were blown away about all the Scotch ales and ambers and red ales and stuff out in Montana. And then when I was in Philly, it was all big IPAs and big stouts too. A lot of sours. Philly's really more on a cutting edge, in my opinion. Like, they're really more on a cutting edge, whereas Montana was more like laid back.
How do they pair with Geno's?
Yeah, where's that?
How do they pair with Geno's?
Didn't get to that, but of course, the nice pills and a steak. Come on now. Anyway, I don't know. Art, I've been to one of the best places I've been to ever was Asheville, North Carolina, and that was 3 years ago. Asheville is amazing, and it's about diversity of beer. Asheville is one of my favorite places, man. I got to tell you that.
We've went there, like fantastic. The Biltmore's out there. I've been to the most swankiest TGI Fridays in Asheville, man. Like the swag that they have on the walls is very limited. I think it's a couple of Picassos, and it's just like what's happening? They don't even offer appetizers. They offer entrees and maybe a little sampler. It's crazy out there, man. It's like it's legit.
You have to wear your good flip flops there.
Your good Crocs. You got to wear your good Crocs out there.
Hey, Art, what's your hat? Brock wants to know what hat you're wearing.
Brock, it is the Portland Timbers.
Oh.
And I got this for to match with not only my sweet Aquaman shirt, but my New Balance Verner's Ginger Ale / New Balance Burn Rubber sneakers. Because again, I'm a sneakerhead, and
we didn't even get to that.
The biggest thing for me is the reason why I bought this hat.
We're not getting any other beers.
Oh, we're not. No, I don't know how long you guys traditionally go for, but we're going for like 7 hours. I'm a talker. Oh, never mind. I got beers. Dude, like you've on the perfect time for so many reasons. But anyways, as I digress, Portland Timbers. One of the good friends of the Life of Dad show, Jeff Antonella. He's the goalkeeper for the Timbers, man. We've had him on a few times on our Facebook Lives and our podcast. I actually recently just talked to him right before he went for surgery. So he's been on the podcast 2 or 3 times. He's got a great book series called It Had to Be Told. It's about introducing your kids into some famous like sports stories and all that. Check it out. My boy, I don't know if you heard the dings, but my boy Chad, it was Victory Sour Monkey. Have you had Victory Sour Monkey?
I had that a couple weeks ago. Remember, Greg? I did a whole Victory Monkey. I had a golden monkey, a sour monkey, and a rosé monkey.
Yeah.
I ate sour monkey, man.
Yeah. So I'm a huge golden monkey fan. Sour monkey was probably my least favorite out of the 3, but I'm not a sour fan.
No, like I'm not a sour fan either, but I want Sam and like like the victory was great. Like it was awesome. But going back, so like this is why I'm rocking the Timbers hat for a few reasons. 1, sneakerhead. 2, well, most important is because Jeff Antonella, man, big fan of his, and I appreciate his time. So yeah, that's why I'm wearing the hat. Thanks for asking, Brock. And my boy Chad, it's got to say, so it's the Victory Sour, man. It's legit, man.
Oh yeah. I thought Doug liked it for a sour, didn't you, Doug?
What's that?
You like that beer for a sour?
For a sour, yes. Like I said, it's something where I tend to be, if it's going to be sour, I prefer it to be tart as opposed to sour. Shotgun Benny, which I've had.
This is great, man.
Yeah,
let's hear about it.
That's a local beer to you, yeah?
It's a local beer. It's from Lone Rider in North Carolina.
Yeah, Lone Rider's out of Raleigh, isn't it?
Yeah, it's you know what though?
Raleigh.
It's a Heffenweisen ale, right?
Heff. I was just talking shit on that style.
But this beer is It's about, I think it said 5.8% volume alcohol. It's kind of like a wheat beer with like, there's some clove, like a clove to it. And like, even like a fruity, like a mild fruit to it as well. But like, this is, my wife, like when, I kind of know when a beer is good when my wife and I collaborate on like what beers we like. Like she'll be like, "Hey, let's go to another Shotgun Betty." Like, "Hey, can you pick up at a grocery store? Like, pick up some more Shotgun Betty." I'm like, "All right." When dive on beer, like, "All right, sweet." Like, you know, this beer's a keeper.
So the lady's a beer drinker. That's cool.
She is. She's a yang to my yang. She's awesome. She actually, you know, you mentioned like, you know, Icelandic beers. She travels a lot kind of for work, and she was in Germany, and she'll send me pictures like, "Hey, look what I'm tasting right now, or look what I'm checking out." I'm like, "That's my lady right there. She knows what's up."
So when are you packing that in the suitcase and bringing that home?
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Right.
So, Doug, you've tasted this before. Greg, you haven't tasted it yet, right?
I haven't tasted that. What I've heard, people were ranting and raving about it when they said they were going to be on. Right, that's a great beer.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as that beer goes, Heffa, sometimes they have banana, sometimes cloves.
Banana and cloves. Like I kind of think I mentioned the cloves, not the banana, but like you can feel the banana into it, right? Right, Doug?
Yeah, I thought so too. But it's again, I thought that was pretty well done to have it mix. I don't think it was like overpowering for either of them. But I recall, it's a couple of years since I've had it. I have some relatives who live outside of Asheville in Silva, which is kind of outside of Asheville in the mountains. Maybe not outside of Asheville. Maybe it's more in the Smoky Mountains area. I'm sorry. But I remember having that, and I remember it being pretty well balanced between the two.
Yeah, it's such a, oh man, like, I don't know, like talking, like I feel sometimes embarrassed talking about the beers I like in front of Mr. Washington. Because
Why? As we said, whatever you like, that's great.
Even though I said that, right? But I feel like for me, it's kind of like the easy sipping beers is what I'm kind of like appalled, like that I'm pulled to. That's even great. Though, like I said, like 5 minutes ago, like just drink what you like. But yet I feel
right.
You were like, to me, like Greg, right. Like, well, let me first of all, Doug, like you were like, you know, your handle is Scotchfully yours, so it's like, all right, like I gotta bring you both on into like my podcast. We're just gonna have like a drink, like we're gonna almost do like a reverse episode of this, right? But
I'm down for that. Just Scooby Doo.
Yeah, Greg,
without I feel like this ugly face. Yeah, right. Perfect.
You're beautiful to me, man. Greg, I feel like you're the Michael Jordan of beers in my realm. All right, so that's.
Yes.
Like all I need you to do is come out with a sneaker that's got like some beer and maybe like your own logo, and like I'm gonna rock it. We're like I have was it Braylon? Is it Braylon Edwards? Who used to play for the Browns, right?
Yes.
I have a Braylon Edwards jersey that I rock with the Jordan 3s that are white mocha and that's mostly white mocha. I rock the Braylon Edwards jersey with that, and it's such an awesome jersey. I loved. Yeah, Nike's doing some stuff with the Reebok ones, but I love the Reebok jerseys, man. They were like perfect for the fall or winter if you're in New Hampshire. You just put that on with some cargo shorts and you're ready to rock and roll. So
cargo shorts.
I just want to know, Washington, when you come out with a shoe, man. I can't wait to rock it. I'm
gonna tell you the shoe Greg should come out with is like something like a beer in this hand and a Chris Routley thumb. Like that. And that would be an awesome logo on the side of the shoe.
Oh, there's a Chris Routley reference. First time on the show.
Yeah, man, I miss Routley.
We've had Chris Routley, Aaron Gouvet a couple months ago. I mean, we drop our dab bloggers' names here for sure. Yeah. No, cheer. Art, man, we need to bring you back just a whole show to talk about shoes, because I didn't even get to that part about how sneakers. We could talk for hours on that shit, man. You're way ahead of it on me. Like I just kind of you know those things when you become a dad, you just got to drop. Shoes is one of them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just can't. You don't have that money to just be blowing money on. Like you can keep some things. You know what I mean? As a father, you can keep video games, or you can keep You just can't keep it all though. you gotta give away some shit.
There's a pie chart, right? And when you have kids, like when you get a spouse, it changes. Then when you get kids, it changes even more. And for me,
so you kept shoes, man. I had to ditch it. So like, but like it's almost like a passion. Like I almost live it through you. Like I see you post about shoes, and then, I don't know. Art's become the guy too that people tag him with shoes. So like I can see Art getting tagged with shoes, and I'm like, damn, look at those. You know what I mean? So it's just like hilarious. Like I didn't even think we were going to talk about shoes today, Art, because again, you cover a lot of things, bro. A lot of things we could talk to you about. You're very what's the word I want to use? I don't even know. Doug, you're the word guy here. Doug's the word guy here, and I tell Doug to. Behind the scenes, I'm telling Doug to tell me the words that I need to do.
Doug, like, yeah, speaking like you mentioned dad bloggers, right? But like legit, Doug, you have a way with words, man. It's fantastic. People, make sure you follow, like, just check out his, because there's, I think, like, how many, like, again, so I mentioned, like, Greg, you're the Air Jordan of like beers, right? Doug, like for you, man, when we like kind of like do a share thread, you said, you post like, hey, this is my article, check us out. It's legit, man. It's like, all right, like you, like you're the Michael Jordan, and I'm like the Scottie Pippen. I'm like, all right, I got to up my game to make sure I stay with you, right? So like,
you're very kind. Thank you.
No, like, because like I feel like I think one of the guys, again, we're just mentioning all these like dad bloggers and dad organizations. Doug French from Dad 2.0 Summit, right? He said like the rising tide raises all the ships, right? I probably butchered the hell out of that phrase, but I'm saying like
I think that's
this community that we have, man, it is just fantastic because there's certain other things that's like, damn, like I want to learn more about this, or I want to learn more about that, or like I want to become a better father because I see these other dads reaching like the pinnacle of like where I want to be, man. So there's just so many, like, I love this, like the internet's awesome, can be scary at certain points, especially with us raising kids. But like, I'm so happy just for this, like this organization of like organization of dads, but like this relationship with dads that we have, that we're like, if we would have been on this like call, but I've been on this if I didn't like, knew you guys through like this whole fatherhood thing. I'll shut up. I'll get sentimental. Let me get out some tissues and like a Hallmark moment. Go ahead, Greg.
I'm using a sentimental one, man. So that's good. I'm glad someone else is doing it.
Greg, that thing looks awesome. And I was like, it's dark. It's kind of
yeah, this is that lava one.
Man.
Lava from. So come on, help me with this. Overshow.
Hey, just because I'm a white dude doesn't mean I know how to pronounce the Scandinavian.
Oh, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Wow.
I didn't go. I didn't say anything. I was more like, out of the three of us, whoever goes to IKEA the most would probably know how to say that, right?
That's probably true. And I think the closest IKEA I have is Philly.
Is that the Schmergendorf Ektorp brewery?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that sounded like the guy from Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, Dusel Franz.
Oh man, sorry, Greg.
Now we got a Phineas and Ferb reference. Ooh. So this is an Imperial Stout. This is wait. It's I'm
gonna be curious.
Smoked Imperial
Stout Trooper.
Oh, we're gonna get to that soon.
Yes, we are.
Smoked Imperial. It's actually gonna be a great segue into it, isn't it? Let's see here. Smoked Imperial, 9.7% alcohol.
Ooh.
Okay. This says, am I wrong? 121, 22. So this is good until 22. I don't know. You saw how poor Doug. It smells boozy.
Okay.
Like
that's right up my alley.
It smells like It smells like a shot of bourbon. Or
it smells like a bourbon barrel aged. Does it smell like a bourbon barrel aged stout?
It doesn't say that, man. It says smoked.
Okay. So, I'm just saying it smells like that is what I'm getting from you.
Man, here we go. All right. So The smoke smooths it out. It's not as boozy as it smells. You get a lot of Doug. You would love this shit because I know you love the big Imperials, and you like smoked, right? As long as it's not too smoked, right? You like smoked beers.
Smoked porters, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Smokiness, roastiness, smokiness like this would pair well with ribs, especially those ribs off the grill that are burnt and have that little burntness on the edge.
End.
Yes. And you pair it with this at the end of the night. Ah, man, sail off to the sunset. Do they have sunsets in Iceland? Don't know. Actually, there's a sun.
They do it at like 11 o'clock at night, but
does it rise or I don't know what the fuck goes on up there. All I know is this shit is good. This isn't even the nightcap. I got other beers in that fridge back there if we were gonna go longer. But this is man, I wish we gotta work on like zooming like technology. Like I need to be able to send this shit to you.
Oh yeah, that would be lovely. I would very much appreciate that.
Yeah, then I don't know if that'll ever work because then I wouldn't have to leave my house. Like we could all drink and then we would never have to leave our house. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing because no, like
it's a good thing. I don't want to leave.
Yeah. No drunk drivers. Right there, you go. It's all good.
That's a very good point.
No, but there was what was it? There was Harvard, Yale, whatever the case may be, Ivy League. I don't know. Someone was working on like the whole like Star Trek beaming up technology or something like that. Yeah. Who knows, man? Boston Science scares the hell out of me. Have we not seen Skynet? Have we not learned from Skynet or the Matrix? Stop making robots that can do flips and like stop doing that.
Robotics.
Man, real quick, and then we got to get to Art's story. I posted something on Daddy Porter's main page about how in London they have this new AI technology. And when you first hear AI, you're like, whoa, like, are there robots taking over? Or do I have to go in and like punch a kiosk? Apparently, you walk into the bar, and when you walk in, the AI sees your face and it puts you in a queue. So then the bartender knows who is up next for the beer. So you don't have to like elbow people out, or you know how sometimes you get in line and then other people like that. Right, you're waving your money, or like a lot of times what happens with me is I get in line and then the pretty lady behind me gets in line, and then of course she gets her beer first. And I'm not really annoyed by that, but then her 6 friends get one too. And then like again, they're all pretty. But it puts you in a queue, and then the bartender knows how to serve you. And then when you're in that queue, apparently you can like apparently they have it where you can order drinks again, or you can re-up, or like all this different stuff that they're using with technology. They're not eliminating the bartenders, but they're making them more efficient.
Well, I will say, as someone who is hearing impaired, that's a awesome kind of thing, because bars are terrible for me, because I go in and I can't hear shit. I can hear all the noise, but if somebody's talking to me, I might as well just be like, hey, why don't you just write everything down, because I'm not going to know shit you're talking about.
Wow. All right, do you have another beer?
Food down. Let's go.
I'm gonna do
beer and a story, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, whether like the first podcast I ever started like 13, 15, 16 years ago was called Masters of None. And it was the guys I used to work in radio with. And there was a guy I produced the show for. He was the host. His name was Jay Wolf. He now runs this thing called Brew Reps. I should probably have you guys meet guys, because like he does a lot of stuff on beer and all that stuff. He told me when I was living in New Jersey, he's like, hey, when you go up to the holidays up to New Hampshire to visit your family, make sure you stop over at the New England Brewery Company over in Connecticut. And I'm like, why? He's like, because they have a thing called the Imperial Stout Trooper, as you can see right here, right? This bottle, we already drank it. I bought 2 bottles. And again, if people watching this, they see the big
Star Wars head.
Right there. Big Star Wars fan. I got a Pepsi thing from like Revenge of the Sith with Yoda on it. There's more I mean, I'm gonna shut up about the Star Wars thing. You get it. I'm a Star Wars fan. So he's like, Jay was like, dude, you gotta check it out. You gotta go to, if it's on your way, and it was seriously on my way from New Jersey to New Hampshire. So I called up. I was like, hey, do you have any more Imperial Stout Troopers? He's like, we have 5 left. I'm like, I'll buy 2. Please hold it for me. I'm gonna mention you guys, give you guys plugs in our podcast. He's like, all right. Finally go there. And I was like, hey, man, thanks very much for holding this. And I was like, I have to ask this. And I hope I don't like, I'm like, piss on your cornflakes, but let me just ask you this. I go, how is George Lucas not, this is before Disney bought Star Wars. I was like, how's George Lucas like letting you do this? He's like, we've been getting letters from Lucasfilm saying like, we haven't opened them yet. Our lawyer's like, just wait until the end of the year and then you can open them. So they were selling them. And then the next year they finally opened up the letters and they were like, all right, we got it. They changed the bottle. It was the same beer. It was the same stout. But they changed it up. But like, I still have this bottle, dude, because I'm like, for me, it's like a funkadelic relic, right? Like, I want to keep this, and it was good. I'm not really a stout person, but there was hints of coffee, a little bit of toffee. I'm not trying to rhyme, but like, it was great. I enjoyed it. We all kind of like took samples, and it was fantastic. So that was it. So that was like the Imperial Stout Trooper, and it was just, for me, kind of close, hitting close to the home and close to the mark for me being a Star Wars fan.
Especially with the fandom, I could see how, like, if somebody came out with a Halo beer, which I'm a big Halo video game fan, I would be all over that. Somebody's made one.
And
yeah, do that one. Let's see. I want to hear about that one.
I was going to
go ahead.
I was going to pause for a word from our
sponsor. I only have one left. You guys have way more. Go.
Not yet.
Okay. All right, so this is Mason Jar. It's like 2 towns away from me. It's called the Happy Place Lager. It's a golden lager. You know me. 4.5% alcohol. And this is I'm a big fan. Like, they just opened up. Like, first they were like a restaurant, and then they started to open up a brewery. There's two restaurants, I think, 1 brewery, and like it's like a legit brewery. So I'm pouring this out right now.
And for the record, they are the Mason Jar Lager Company.
Yep.
When you put in Mason Jar Brewing, you're going to get a different one. And if you put in Mason Jar, you're going to get like 6,000 restaurants. The Mason Jar Lager Company.
All right. So this is it's got like I don't know. It's definitely more of a little hoppiness to it. It's like a little like Helles style lager.
Yes. I love hoppy lagers. Love them.
And the cool thing is, especially for the summer, dry finish in the sense of like it's not overpowering. It's great. Kind of like the 76 where you take a sip and it's great. So the Helles style is great. Again, there's a little bit of bite to it towards the end of the taste, but it's again perfect for the summertime. I'm not a beach fan, but like, if you're going to the beach, perfect for that. But this is, you can kind of see it's very, very golden. And
so Art, do you do the real quick? Do you do the shower beers? I don't want to get on a tangent, but
no, I don't.
Oh, okay. We have a shower beer guy here, Doug, and it's funny because I didn't think that shower beers were so polarizing. Like, speaking of polarizing, shower beers are as polarizing as, speaking of polarizing and dab blogs and stuff, as pajamas at the bus stop.
Wait. So people are ticked off at you, Doug, for drinking beer. Like, shout out to Daddy Files, Aaron Gouvet for that one. But like, Doug, like, do people like get up all in your business because you have a shower beer? Like,
some people think it's really weird to have beer in the shower, and I think it's fucking awesome. I like fucking the kind of showers that almost burn your skin off, and if you have a cold beer in there, it's like the perfect compliment.
So we talked about this earlier. We talked about this earlier in the quote unquote Daddy Porter green room, where you and I, you're up in upstate New York. I grew up in Buffalo, New Hampshire, right? I love the cold weather. Like, we're like Elsa's. The cold never bothered us anyways, right? So for us, it's funny too. Like, even like after I'm done mowing the lawn here in North Carolina, I'll still take a hot shower.
Same.
Like,
so I have a tangent for you after that. Make your point, please.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's funny how you love the cold just like me, but then you'll take a hot shower even in the summer, and like you're sweating after the shower, right?
Very much so.
I'm not with you guys on that. You guys can be all cool with that. It's gotta be cool.
No pun intended, right there. No, was that a dad joke there?
There was a dad joke there, I think. So I have So I have a tangent on this then. Do you drink coffee? Art, do you drink coffee?
No.
No? Okay, so my question will be more for Greg then. Greg, I guess, drinks coffee because I drink coffee hot. I never drink it cold. I don't care how hot it is outside. I want it. I want my coffee hot. No?
I'm in coffee, but I'm all over the place. Frappes, blended. Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Whatever floats your boat then. All right.
Yeah. I'm a bad example for this.
I drank coffee once, and I'm like Grumpy Cat, and I hated it.
So I think now's the best time, if any, from a word from our sponsor. And we don't have sponsors yet because, well, I don't know. But anyway, word from our sponsor.
Look at that. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Shameless plug here. Life of Dad book. One of my co-authors, John Finkel. Well, one of them. No, my only co-author, John Finkel, and I wrote this book. It came out the day after my birthday, May 7th of this year. And it's just all of like pretty much the collection of the interviews I've done over the Life of Dad show for the past like 7 years. There's Mark Hamill, Jim Gaffigan, Adam Carolla, Mark Cuban, Michael Strahan, just a bunch of guys in here. It's just, again, the fatherhood connection. Thanks very much, Greg, for letting me plug that. You can get it at Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, wherever the case may be. It's just kind of cool. Like if you're drinking a beer, hanging out, and you just like want to read a couple of sections, it's not like you have to read like chapter 1 all the way to chapter whatever. No, you can read little snippets. So Greg, thank you very much for letting me plug my book. I was very I remember you messaged me guys like make sure you have a picture of the book because we want to plug it. So thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's pretty fascinating seeing some of the guys you get to talk to on that show. My friend Jay and I, we do this podcast called Parental Dadvisory, which
another plug.
So
plug it, man.
Plug it, yeah.
That's parentaldadvisory.com, and Jay and I are still in the midst of doing season 2. We've both been in a tremendous amount of stuff going on in our personal lives that we just haven't been able to do more episodes. So we're getting to it. It's a slow process, which, it's rough because we're doing it as we're trying to, take care of things with our families. So everybody knows, we all know how that works. So yes, but
it's tough, man. Like it's seriously tough. But like kudos to you guys. Keep on plugging in on that. I mean, Greg, you mentioned Brock, right? Brock Lush from the Nomad, his podcast. Like people, keep up your podcast. I know, like sometimes people like just Doug, keep going, man. It from a guy who's at like Life of Dad show is up at like 430 right now, like episodes. Like just keep going, man, because people will listen, and you guys run a good show. So does Brock and other guys and stuff like that. So keep it going, man.
430, Jesus.
Yeah,
wow.
I think Jay and I are at like. By the way, as a preview plug, next week Jay and I will be doing part of the Daddy Porter show. So I'll be really stoked to have Jay on here. But just like the idea of like we don't have like a whole like the guests we have are not like here's this guy who's super famous or like Jim Gaffigan or whatever, but like the stuff we get to talk about I'm really enjoying, and it's a total departure from what I'm doing here. And like you were saying about the writing stuff, and like the writing is one thing, the podcasting, doing this, like I just enjoy the shit out of doing all of it. And like to me that's what I like. The fact that I enjoy it is what makes it like completely worthwhile for me.
Like this show right here is awesome. I'm a big fan of both of you guys' work, not just on this show, but everything else you guys do. And again, this the brotherhood of fatherhood that we've kind of established, through the different, Facebook groups, different organizations that we belong to, that we've kind of like, found through the interwebs. It's fantastic, man. So like, again, I'm very, when you guys told me like, hey, you want to jump on the show? I was freaking psyched. I was so excited to go in the grocery store. Like my grocery shopping's every Friday. I'm like, I'm getting beers. I'm getting excited. I made a bucket of beers. And like my wife's having a wine night downstairs right now. And they're like, is this a ritual thing? I'm like, no, I'm putting a bucket full of like a popcorn bucket I got from going seeing Avengers Infinity War, bunch of ice. This is not my normal Friday thing. This is something special. And as soon as Greg invited me, you guys were like, hey, come on the show. I was freaking pumped because I get to drink beer with some freaking awesome dudes. So, thank you.
And Doug even knows it was funny because I was like, shit. Doug's like, man, I don't have. He's like, next week I may not be able to make the show because I have work thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then it was literally asking. It was 2 minutes later. I was like, we got Art, yo. And he's like, what?
I was like, that is awesome. I was like, so stoked. I was like, this.
But
is
it was
great.
funny though because I was working. It was because Art. I said, Art, I would love to have you on the show. And then Art's like, dude, just give me a date. And then I didn't respond to him for like, it was probably like a week.
8 months.
I cried every night. I cried every night on my big pillow. My big head resting on this big pillow. I'm like, he's not calling me. What did I do? What did I do?
Right. So then Doug's like, man, we need help. And I was like, what about this date? And you're like, you literally responded like 10 minutes. Yes. And I responded to Doug like, we got Art. And Doug's like, really? Like that fast? But
I slept like a baby that night you said I was in. I was like, all right, he likes me. He really likes me. All right, I'm in.
So anyway,
I wanted to go, but Greg, you were opening one. Let's see what you got, man.
Yeah, while our sponsor was talking, I kind of dipped out and got another beer here. So I got this Caldy. If you recall, Doug, last week I had the Caldy IPA.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. But remember, I thought it was a little bit old. Yeah. So I'm gonna shift to Art here a little bit. This is a dark lager. As you can see, it's dark lager. Dark lagers, I have been I'm becoming a fan of them, Art, and I think dark lagers are part of why I'm coming back to lagers. Are you in the dark lager thing? Where are you at? How do they hit your palate?
Well, for like again, I sometimes look at the dark lager like, all right, is this gonna be a porter? Is it gonna be a stout? What's it gonna be like? Am I nervous? Should I like wear a seatbelt? Should I put my big boy pants on? What should I do, right? And then I'm like, all of a sudden I think I'm like, what would Greg do in this situation, right? I'm like WWGD. Yeah, right? I'm like, what would he do? First, he'd root for the Browns and like Baker Mayfield and OBJ and all that good stuff. And so I'm like, all right.
Nick Chubb.
But then I'm like, all right, I'll try it.
I love how he's bringing up the Browns, man. It's great. Go on.
Dude, like I am so
you gotta have him back.
I am so psyched for all of you Browns fans, man. I am literally like I'm a Niners fan, right? And I know that our ship's kind of sailed. Yeah, Garoppolo is great, but I just feel like
sexy QB.
Yeah, whatever.
Bring back Frank Gore.
I would love Frank Gore back. That dude, like he is like what is it, Solomon Grundy from the Batman comics, or he's like Frankenstein. Like he'll be 75 and still be giving you 3.5 yards a carry. Like he is that guy. Like he doesn't stop. But I'm really excited for Browns fans. I would love to see them dominate the AFC North and just all of it, because like right now it's perfect. Antonio Brown.
I fucking love this guy.
Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, they left. Juju Smith-Schuster is a great wide receiver, but let's see him as number one, right? Andy Dalton, yeah, they're great. They'll be like 8-8, right? The Ravens, the Browns, man. I really want the Browns to do something. I want them to shock the world, man. Like
I have so many people in my life that are Steelers fans, and it just drives me fucking nuts. I just want to see them shut the fuck up.
Did you see Baker Mayfield's quote when people asked him like, "Oh, what was the biggest thing you learned from college?" Did you see what he said?
Of course I did, but yes, running from the cops.
Yes. That guy doesn't give two shits about anything, man.
I love Art. I don't even talk the Browns in the show. I'm kind of trying to wait, and Art's just like, fuck it, bring it.
Again, maybe I should shut up because I want to like overhype the Browns wagon, but like I would love to. I mean, think about a franchise, one of the historic franchises, right? All of a sudden, Art Rooney, like my name, right? He's like, all right, guess what, guys? Shh, we're leaving. We're going to Baltimore. And the Baltimore Ravens ultimately stopped my 49ers from winning the Super Bowl, right? So, yeah.
Fuck all that.
But all of a sudden, the Browns come back.
All of that,
like,
yes.
Do you know how pumped I was to see the Browns come back and play on that game? It's like, hey, they're back. Like you need exactly. But I'm like, the Browns, like they're a staple in the NFL. Like you had Clay Matthews, Bernie Kosar, all of those guys, Ozzie Newsome, all of those guys where you're just like, this is like the mentality of 80s and 90s football, right? Like you need to have that. And then you see the meme of like every quarterback drafted. It's like that should stop. Like I would love for a meme. Like this would be great, right? Greg, I'm glad you're sitting. I would love Baker Mayfield to win the MVP for the Super Bowl, and that all of a sudden someone like has an image of them burning the image of all of the quarterbacks drafted. You know, like that would be perfect. Because like Cleveland, like when LeBron James left and they burned the jersey, like all right, I get it.
Yeah.
They should burn that meme when like Baker Mayfield wins the Super Bowl with that. Like that would be fantastic, man.
Why would you disparage Tim Couch like that, man?
Have you seen Tim Couch right now? That dude is woo. Have you seen him?
Pretty hot, man.
My man.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know if Art is like is he debut? Is he trying to like get Doug fired here? Is he like debuting as my co-host? Like what is going on here? Like this guy brings the Browns.
Great. That's the thing.
Sneakers.
He's on here and he knows how to fucking talk shit.
He knows how to kiss them.
Do you think I can handle another podcast or another Facebook Live or YouTube show? No. You and Doug, you guys are the dynamic duo. All right. Stop it.
But
Wonder Twin
killing it with the Browns. You're killing it with the Browns. You're killing it with the Browns. You didn't even say you're going to talk about them. This is great. I've been trying not to talk about it, but anyway, I want to get back to this lager real quick. So look how much it's gone, and it shows. So real quick, Art, do you like the malt? Like they put more malt in these dark lagers. Is that too much for you? Down? Or
no, like if again, with anything, if it's done well, shit, like let's do it, right? Like let's go through it. There's like.
It's probably the best
you
one.
probably know this more than I do, right? But when you drink a beer, you can kind of tell. Like for me, you can kind of tell when a brewery is kind of like just going with the fads, and they're not like actually looking at all the science behind of brewing, and they're like of brewing a beer. There we go. Like all of a sudden, you're like, all right, let's just follow the trend. Oh, this is the taste. And you get like these weird undertones. But if they do it right, you don't have those weird undertones. And maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but like you guys will probably know more than I do. Like there are some breweries that just kind of like they follow the trend. And but if it's done right, it's a great beer.
Yeah, this is a good one. I just took a picture of you guys. This is a good one here. Yeah, I don't know. This is maybe the best one. I don't know. We'll get to usually at the end of the show we talk about the ones that we liked and the ones we didn't like. But this one really here is I've been a fan of dark lagers. And this one's a great one. Man, this is the most I've drank in a short period of time in a long ass time. You guys know I only drink this much.
Yeah,
I'm blaming Art.
I'm like chugging heavy shit down like it's water.
Right. It's Art's fault. So, Doug, are you done? We've stapled it.
I got one more.
Let's go. Yes.
All right. So this is the one I've been saving because I'm super intrigued by this.
Okay.
It is a Scotch ale aged in Scotch barrels by Allagash out of Maine.
Ooh.
So this is like Scotch ale, which I love. Scotch, which I love. So, and it's called Pictavia. Apparently, it's a kind of thing they're doing, which is a smaller run of beers, Pictavia. So
small batch.
Yeah, small batch style.
So
it's from Maine?
From Maine.
Can't get that from here.
Yeah, Maine makes this Allagash Brewery makes a boatload of really good beers.
Doug, how often do you see Scotch ales and Scotch barrels?
Never.
Oh.
I've never had one that is aged in Scotch barrels ever. That's why I said I have to pick that up.
Okay.
So this one, just an FYI, is 9.3 ABV.
Right up your alley.
This was bottled on 10/3/19. How's that possible? They did it in the future, apparently.
In the year 2000.
Maybe 310.
I don't know. It says it. So forgive me, my eyesight sucks. maybe it's 18. I don't know.
Or maybe it's 310. Maybe it's not 10.3, 310.
Oh,
Sometimes
that might be the case. Yeah.
Sometimes people reverse those two.
Hey, Greg.
Yo.
I got a sponsorship idea for you. Lens Crafters.
For me, yeah. I'm fucking old, dude. I'm 2 years away from AARP. Give me a break. All right. So it's got that nice tone that you expect from a Scotch ale.
Can we get the ARPP logo on our branded on our podcast?
Let's get them to sponsor us. I'll get more discounts. That'll be fucking great.
Or just take one of the A's away and put an H on, and you got harp.
Right. So what? We get so what do we do? Like senior citizen shots? Oh no. Go back to the beer quick. So what are we getting, buddy?
All right. So this is super interesting because Scotch ale has a very certain tenor to it. But it's got the barrel flavors on the very front, and then it goes to Scotch ale taste and then barrel age on the back end as well, which is not what I expected whatsoever, because usually you get the note of barrels on one end or the other, not from both. So really, really excellent, but super duper boozy.
Okay. So it's not a Scotch bomb. So you taste the Scotch, you taste the beer.
No, it's not like you have a Scotch bomb. It's just barrel Scotch ale, which is Scotch ale with nice sweet tones to it, and then barrel age, the barrel tones on the end of it. So
speaking of the bomb, Ben Affleck was a bomb in Phantoms.
Not quite the same color, but okay. And we're going on tangent time. Why don't you open another beer?
Oh, yeah. Art, do you have another beer to open?
Did you have another one to open, dude?
I have another Mason Jar Happy Lager, but if you want me to go downstairs. Okay, here's another story. You guys want Uncle Art to tell you a tale?
Uncle Art. Story time with Uncle Art.
So one of my good friends in the neighborhood, I turned 40 back in May, and his birthday gift, you guys saw this, I was on the the Daddy Porter page on Facebook. He got me 40 beers, but they're all different.
Oh, yes, for Christmas.
No, it's for my birthday.
I'm sorry, for your birthday. Yes, it's your birthday. Right.
There were stouts.
You got cool friends, man. Yeah, go on.
So there were stouts, lagers, ales, all these different things. If you want, I can go downstairs and pick up one of them and just talk about it.
Yes. Hey, hit that. Yeah. Doug and I can hold the show, or Doug can.
Yeah, because I'm still. This thing here is like.
All right, let me get a couple. I'll be right back.
I absolutely love live shows like this.
You're like, man, I need to get more shit. Let's go.
Right. And I'm just writing in Daddy Porter Beer group for anybody who doesn't know about it. I'm just posting in there. You can find it on Facebook. We got about 600 people in there. Half of my friends, the other half not.
We not posted in there as much.
Right. I'm about to post it in now. This is not a normal drinking night for this guy. Meaning, I have all these beers in front of me, and I'm finishing all of them. Normally, I'm like
out of not character. That's the wrong word, but like not how you
kind of, yeah, man. I don't. Again, everybody assumes the aspiring beer expert and beer judge just drinks all the damn time, and it's just not. You already know part of the reason I started the show so I can drink more beer. People are like, "What?"
So it says 18 or 19. Hey, Jill, I'm going to page my wife over there watching a show. Can you tell me what date this is? Because I'm looking at it and it looks like it was brewed in opened by in a future date. It was brewed like 10 what? It looks like 19.
10/3/19.
All right, so in the future, great.
No.
Right.
Yeah, that is Future World.
They flipped the 3 to 10. I was
drunk by. Am I reading?
It says bottled on.
Okay, well then I think
they must have made a mistake. It's probably last year.
I would assume so, but
So there goes that lager.
look up where Allagash Brewery is because when we go to Maine, I'd love to visit that place.
Yep, we can do that.
We need you need to get to Allagash.
Yeah, because we're going to Maine in not this coming week, but the week after. So I'm going to be doing a remote Daddy Porter from Maine.
The 16th. Okay, because I was looking for a guest on the 16th.
Well,
So
you can if you want. I can see. We have Wi-Fi where I'm going to be, so I think what I'll do is I'll grab some Maine beers.
yes. Yes.
I like how we're
gotta do
plotting
this
out in a
remotely.
live show what we're going to do in 2 weeks.
Right. Hey man, I don't know. Like we have a guest next week, which is Jay, your podcast partner.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, we don't have anybody. And the week after that, we have Tiffany Martin from Canada, traveling pint.
That's going to be great.
So yeah, and then we're talking to Paige from Alcohol Bar Volume 2, and so I was really actually actively trying to get someone for the 16th. So that sounds good, man, because we'll have a guest and then we'll have you remote. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, because I would like to do that. Also, I have to say I'm a big fan of Paige and Dan, and I cannot pronounce his last name.
Boobin. I think it's Boobin.
And they're
Boobin.
doing
Did I get that wrong?
I really like them doing that stuff. And Pure Ploma and all that stuff. I want to hype them up because I think they do a great job too.
Yeah, going to these beer, whether it be that too, which I need to return to next year, and then the Beer Bloggers Conference. Soon also, man, we're going to put a shout out to the group too. I think we should put a shout out to the group and say, anybody want to come on and drink with us on a Friday? Do that too.
All right.
Oh, Art has recharged. Well, Art, before you get there, I opened up this.
Oh, nice.
So now we are,
Brewery?
Doug, we are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be my 6th beer.
Jesus Christ, Greg.
We are in uncharted territory. And let's see here.
Now,
I'll
my
show you what I have
question-
left in my beers.
Before we start that, Greg, are you in a state like I was the one night where I ended up spilling beer all over my shirt?
Not yet.
That was an interesting night. Maybe pre-drinking before the show wasn't a great idea.
Right. So Art, hold on real quick, Art, before you get there. I have a Caldi lager.
Nice.
Didn't I have a Caldi? I had a Caldi dark lager, and then last week I had that IPA though, Doug. So now I have just a straight up lager.
Okay.
Looks like a straight up lager.
Okay. Do
I'm
you
sure-
still have any of the dark lager left to show the difference, or did you? Oh, okay. Sorry. That's all.
Yeah, that dark lager was amazing. So before Art gets to it, this is what I have left of the stout. Imperial pills. Regular pills. And everything else is gone. Art, what you got?
Art, we are in uncharted territory because Greg doesn't normally drink more than 3 ounces of any beer, and he just had 5 beers. So this is going to be fun.
Right.
He's pre-gaming for the Browns Super Bowl championship. That's what he's doing right now.
Oh my goodness, shut that.
All right.
Oh,
So-
keep talking, actually. Keep talking.
This might be hitting your neck of the woods, Greg. I'm drinking Cacophony Mosaic Pale Ale.
Oh.
It's from Coffinology Brewing Company. They are out of Winooki, Wisconsin.
You got a Wisconsin beer?
You got a
Jesus
Wisconsin
Christ.
beer?
So this is part of the 40 beers.
Cacophony. Awesome.
I never heard that shit.
So this is a pale ale, a Mosaic Pale Ale.
So are you down with pale ales, Art? Is that are we getting too hoppy for you there? Is that touching?
Look at that pour, though.
Art, Art's like, I like lagers and I like lighter beers. So does that mean I don't like IPAs? Is that like a nice way to say I don't like IPAs, Doug?
You know what? Like, people watch this and be like, are you getting paid by Sam Adams? And I'm not. But like the New England IPA from Sam Adams is fantastic.
Okay.
And then there's some, like, again, so I got another one from Boatswain. Have you ever tried Boatswain right here? There's another one I have.
Oh, a double.
The
No.
double. Oh, that's right.
I haven't had a double IPA in a while.
So let me see. Boatswain, I think, is.
Cheers.
This is out of Monroe, Wisconsin. It's Rylander Brewing Company.
Right. Okay. I know what's going on there. Okay.
So I haven't opened this yet, but like again, the guy Justin who hooked me up with the 40 beers for turning 40, there were stouts, and he knows I like lagers, and then there was a bunch of like Trader Joe beers that were like, you know, the equivalent to maybe a lager, like a Sam Adams 76 or a Tecate or Corona. There was different like just different things like I would have never tried, right? But like he hooked me up with this. So this one right here, like I said, is the Cacophony one from it's a Mosaic Pale Ale. Let's see. Where was it? I just saw the it's 5% alcohol right away. So there you go. You can kind of see right there.
You're the IPA connoisseur, Greg. How does that look to you?
Looks good. Yeah, I love me some damn IPAs. I ain't gonna even lie.
Yeah.
Love me some damn IPAs.
Yeah, it's definitely good, man.
So the thing with pale ales too is pale ales is a big style range. So some of them are very, very nice and light and not very offensive, and some of them are very offensive. There's a pale ale around here called Hopalicious, and people even when you tell people that it's a pale ale, not an IPA, they're like, "What?" Because it's so aggressively hopped. So where do you think that stands on that? Is it aggressively hopped? Like, is it big flavor, or is it just like a nice? Because pale ales can be like nice lawnmower beers too. They can be big flavor.
No, I get that. It's definitely what?
Is it offensive? Is it? When I mean by offensive, I mean like big flavors.
No, I mean it's like there's a little citrus taste to it, a citrus smell to it, and it's
okay.
And when I say like it's simple, like it's not like simple, but like it's simple for an IPA.
Yes,
but sometimes
these are the ones that Doug likes.
Simple means like in some cases uncomplicated, which is a good thing.
Yep.
Yes. This is. I don't know. This is a little bit of a tangent, so don't kill me on this. But like sometimes when we talk about women and men, and they say that women are complex and men are simple, I'm like, yes, men are simple.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we're just like, you know, beer, sex, food. That's it. We're good.
Let me see. I'm gonna check and see if there's any other Boatswain beers because I think there's another one. I'll be right back. All right.
Yeah, we got our for beer, dude. This is great.
Vamos. Yeah, this is gonna be the longest show ever. Cheers.
You said we were gonna go for 7 hours. I don't have that long, but believe it or not, this is gonna sound really crazy, but I have a upgrade going on for work.
Yeah,
I have to check in with them at midnight, so I can't be completely hammered when I call in.
Well, what does check in mean? It doesn't mean you have to leave, right?
I have to be on a conference call at midnight.
Oh, and we're gonna be like, listen, we're doing this update, and
I'm like, yeah.
So is this like a cool? We gotta watch because I don't want you to say anything about your job on. So.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not going to mention where it is or anything. It's fine.
No. But like sometimes these meetings can be just excruciatingly annoying. Actually, we can just talk vaguely. How about that? Like sometimes they have these meetings at work. Now this is a different one because again, there's an upgrade. So like I'm sure it's like updates and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, what do you do, Doug? And I'm just talking generally. I'm not talking about your job. What do you do when you're caught in like a meeting that's like meaningless and you're like your head's gonna explode? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, generally speaking, because of what I do, I always have a lot of extra work I can do. So basically, I will mute myself and do the work that I need to do.
Yeah, Right.
I don't have a lot of conference calls or meetings like that. Most of them are pretty. I need to be involved and I need to be paying attention. And this one at midnight is one of those because tomorrow I have to go into work and actually help work on the upgrade part on the other side. So it's more like I want to make sure there's nothing like really wrong before I head in the morning. So it's like,
right. So we need to be a little bit aware.
They said if shit goes a lot slower than you expect, then there might be some bleed over into tomorrow morning. Just more me making sure that, all right, what am I to be expecting tomorrow when I walk into work? That's all.
Right, right. And as we talked, you're almost going to miss the show because of this upgrade. So hopefully all goes well.
Start with more beer. This is good.
No, I didn't see any more boat swings. I'm like, all right. Am I keeping you? Am I that guest that overstays his welcome? It's like you guys are looking at the time. Like, when's this guy going to go?
You're like the guest.
The only thing I need to be on is because I have a work upgrade. That's the only reason I'm only having 3 because like I have to be on a conference call at midnight.
All right, so should we let everybody go? Should I just shut up and be like, hey, everybody enjoy your Friday?
No, we're good. This is
I'm just getting that image of Art being like the guy that like comes to our guest bedroom and like camps out and then right when he said it that way, I was like, right, get out, dude. Like you've been here for 4 months. Like when is it gonna end? Like,
I'm the guy on the couch, right? I'm the guy on the couch. Like, get out, man. All right.
No, not at all. But yeah.
No. So while we're away, so we've touched everything, man. I think we've hit almost everything. So I'm gonna just go back a little bit and recall while we're here. My favorite ones out of all these beers that I drank. And again, I need to do this more. I never just throw down and just drink all these beers. It's great. Thank you. This is why I keep you guys around. But this was fantastic. Doug, this will be all you, man. Lava, smoked Imperial, man. It's not often you don't see many smoked Imperial.
No, I don't know that I've seen any smoked Imperials.
Right. This is a good one.
I've seen a shit ton of Imperials, just not smoked.
And Art's not a stout drinker, but I'm sure he might know, or I'm sure he heard. Art is I don't want to say Art's not a stout drinker. Art is a Guinness drinker, so we do know that. But a lot of stouts warm up nice, right, Doug?
Yeah, I agree that like before we started doing the show, I drank all my stouts and all my porters room temperature. I've tried shifting some of that so that I have some of them cold just to see the difference. I still generally will drink my stouts and porters warm. Not warm like, okay, Darth.
What was that? I missed that.
You get the Darth Vader bottle open. Yeah, so I think I prefer the warmness because there's a lot of different textures to it. When it's cold, I think it dampens it, but that's just how I drink them. So
what I like to do with stouts is I like to drink them cold and then see how they are as they warm up. Mm-hmm. You do that, or do you just go to the warm?
No, I think that's pretty interesting just because you can go, okay, let me try it when it's cold. Let it sit warm to room temperature because then you get a different flavor note, especially with stouts. I don't think you get that with many other styles all that well.
Art, you've had how many tonight? 5?
6.
What were the best?
Let it out, man.
Look at that.
Like it's so I think it's a little bit different for you guys because you guys are testing out different things. You guys are like, all right, Art, bring something that you want to bring, bring to the table, right?
And it might be something you go, I love this fucking beer. I tried other ones, but I'm always going to love this one. And that's totally okay.
Well, like I said, Oktoberfest is my number 1 beer of all time. 76.
So that's your number 1 beer, period.
Yeah, number 1 bear all the time. But again, Shotgun Betty, again, like my counterpart, my best friend, my wife, she and I dig that beer. And then, of course, 76. And then the Mason Jar. Mason Jar Happy Lager is great. And then, like I said, the one I just started drinking right now, not really a pale ale type of guy, but again, I think might be a bit more alcohol. Like the more alcohol you drink, like, yeah, this is good, right?
Right.
No, but I'd say like hands down, Oktoberfest is the best. And then for you guys, if you could try the 76, I'd love to, like, even if you just tweet at me or DM me and be like, yeah, this is legit. Or Art, what the hell are you smoking? Like, what's up?
Or what are you drinking?
Art, do you like the 76 better than the summer ale?
And it's tough because the summer ale, like, my wife's a big fan of the summer. I like the summer, but to me, 76, like I said, like, 76 is like that, is like the booty call of beers, right? You can text it at 2 a.m. after you've been drinking a lot, and if you need like one more, you're like, hey, you up? 76 is like, for sure, I'm up.
Perfect description. No, seriously, perfect description.
Almost, I just want to click stop going live and just end it right there. Right, like, boom. Like, they have that one Obama one where he's like, right. It's just like, wow, that was right.
Was
so great. I need to get I don't know. Are you
get a better quote out of the show than that?
Can't get a better quote. Right. In case you missed it. Right. And but another thing I didn't miss that I want Art to know that I didn't miss is that I'm gonna probably go track down that variety pack of Sam that you're talking about.
Yeah, because, I might do the same, even though, like I said, Sam is very kind of middle of the road for me for most of their stuff, except for Old Fezziwig. But again, that's just my palate. So.
Yeah, like again, Greg and Doug, I'm very curious to see what you guys think of the sour, and then to the 76. I'm you guys appreciate the time being on the show. I know I probably took a longer time than you wanted, but
no, this is the thing. We don't have one where we go, we're ending at 30 minutes or an hour. Until it meets its natural end.
Yep.
And basically kill it with fire. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. I don't know, like Sam Adams too, like Doug, I would generally agree with you when you say that, like, Sam is kind of like middle of the road for me. I don't go out of my way for
an insult. I mean, I like a lot of their stuff. It's not wow, but that's for me.
But I think me and you need to, I don't know, maybe recalibrate that or look at it in a different way. And the reason I say that is because I believe that Sam, especially with the acquisition of Dogfish Head, I believe that Sam understands that, and what I mean by Sam, I mean the whole organization. I think they understand that they're kind of behind the ball in the aspect of, like, they're the biggest craft brewer, but they're also one of the biggest craft supporters. Like, they almost they almost hurt themselves by supporting craft as much as they do. And I think that we should go back and continue to check them out like Art has done for that reason, because they're really innovating and they're really trying to keep themselves relevant. And when you're trying to keep yourself relevant, you really are trying to do a bunch of different things, and you are really, some of them you're going to pull off, like Art 7060 pull off. They clearly pull off Summer Ale. I have never met anyone that says anything bad about Summer Ale. And I know people who are like, I don't like Sam Adams and all that, but I say Summer Ale, they're like, yes, it's a good
Summer
beer.
Ale is a
right.
Beer.
So for this reason only, even though you know what I mean? Even though in the past I'm like, about Sam, I'm gonna continue to drink whatever comes out of there. Just because, again, that, and then they bought Dogfish, so that means that they're really, really trying to stay in the craft area, and it means something to them. They're just not selling out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something special about them, even though they're big.
I think you guys try the 76. I haven't tried the sour yet, but I'm interested in that. Try the 76, try the sour, and let me know what you guys think, because obviously I appreciate your guys' opinion.
And Doug, I'm going to go to you last. What did you drink? Because Art and I drank 7,000 things. So, like,
I only drank 3.
So we kind of glossed over you, but tell us what you drank and what did you like. And
all right, so this, unbeknownst to me, was a local brew, Mr. Zero Northeast.
Mr. Zero, the name is awesome.
Yeah, and the fucking label, man, that is just great.
And that's why you bought it, right? You bought it for the label.
And I've told Greg a million times, you have a good label, I'm all in, because to me, if you invest time in a label, you're most likely going to invest time in your beer to make sure it's good. Now, that's not always true. That is not always true. I've had some really great beers that had really shitty labels and vice versa. But this was really, really good. Surprising for me because I'm not generally an IPA fan. I also
You're
had
growing, though. You're growing. You're growing.
A little bit. Life and Limb, which was
a little bit.
Stop it. So this was a collaboration between Sierra Nevada and Dogfish Head called Life and Limb. This was like extraordinarily sweet because it's made with maple and birch syrup, and it was an ale. It was not a stout. So to me, it didn't taste. An ale tasted more like an amber as opposed to like an amber ale as opposed to a brown ale.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I had was this from Allagash, which was a Scotch ale aged in Scotch barrels. And I have to tell you, it might surprise you. I think the Northeast IPA might have been a hair ahead of all the other beers.
Even the Scotch ale and Scotch barrels?
Yeah. So this was really interesting.
Damn.
But I think the Northeast IPA was a lot more consistent. And that doesn't happen often. I don't say that very often.
Well, again, we always talk about biases when it comes to, I don't want to talk about race or politics, but that's when we talk about biases. But like biases comes in with beer. So like, you know what I mean? You're almost trained, Doug, to like the Scotch ale and Scotch barrels more than you would like any IPA, because in your mind, you're like, I love Scotch and I'm on IPAs. So the fact that the IPA beat out the Scotch is saying something about your palate and saying something about the way you look at beers now, man.
Well, I think if you're not going to freaking keep your mind open to things, especially like, all right, so I will say from a political spectrum, I'm super liberal and I'm going to be way over here. And I have a hard time seeing other sides. But when it comes to beverages, I really want to try to keep my mind open. For a while, that wasn't the case. And as I've said to you several times, this show has made me go, why the hell am I just going, I'm only doing this lane when I could be trying other shit? And I might not like it, but I also might. Like that Northeast IPA was excellent. It was not as juicy as I expected, but it was really excellent. And I would recommend that to anybody to try. And that's not saying the Allagash one wasn't really good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the Northeast IPA was better. The Life and Limb was in last place for me just because it's overly sweet. And because it wasn't, again, I think if it was a stout, it would have been a different beast because the stout lends itself to those kind of flavors better. But doesn't mean it wasn't. Like some other people might think that was excellent. It was just not my bag.
Yeah,
Art, we're gonna jump in.
One of the cool things is like this show, it opens your mind up to like, all right, I should try this, right? One of the things too from Amagang Brewery, they've been sending me like the collaboration they've been doing with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and I'm super jealous of you fucker.
And the next one that they're sending me, it's the last one. I just got an email earlier today about it. They're sending me the my watch has ended. It's going to be an Imperial Brown Ale. It's got like maple syrup and like cocoa and toffee flavors. I'm looking forward to it. And then when you said, one of the beers was like juicy, to me, it was like, it was all a dream. You should read Word Up magazines.
Okay, Biggie Smalls.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. And on that note, I think we should end this.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing as a hip hop reference. Yesterday was Chuck D's birthday. My favorite MC ever. Happy birthday, Chuck D.
Public enemy for life. So, Art, you were a fantastic guest.
Yeah, man.
I will speak for my co-host, and I rarely do. We need to have you back sooner than later, buddy.
Absolutely.
I'd love to be on. Thank you, guys. Again, I know I overstayed my welcome.
Please.
I'll make you guys some flapjacks in the morning. There you go.
Yes. Brothers and Brews returns next week with Doug's podcast partner.
Jay was news.
And I will be in Pittsburgh.
Co-host.
Yes, and I will be in Pittsburgh for the Fresh Fest. So I will be doing that. So Art, we will see you in the fall. There's no doubt. In fact, once I end this podcast, I'm gonna try to schedule your ass. So it's cool, buddy.
You schedule all of this, not just my ass, but that's all right.
Well, maybe that's an man. Okay.
Yeah, I was very partial to your earlobe, but whatever.
Okay, cool. We can share. So on that note,